question you might want to ask before we get started in here?
Sure. Coming from sort of a modest background, did you immediately appreciate the value these gowns would have when you first started performing?
Actually, when we first started performing, we were buying our gowns at Saks Fifth Avenue, and that was when we had our first hit record. So, you know, the way the gowns, it kind of escalated into these fabulous gowns, but first it wasn't always so glamorous. They were just, the three of us loved glamour. We always loved playing dress up. So when we got together, we realized that that was something that we liked. Thank God that Motown Records, when they saw us, they recognized that we really liked to play dress up. The one misnomer that people always had was that Motown was the ones that put us into this glamorous mode and said, this is what we want you guys to look like. But we came to Motown with how can I say, cheap pearls from Woolworths, you know, $5 pearls, but we were wearing pearls, you know, when we were 17, 18 years old. So we kind of wanted to be glamorous. We want to be, you know, like that. And so, as you'll see, I'll show you some of the first earlier gowns. They were not overly beaded as some of the later ones are, but they were still very, shall we say, classic and elegant for young girls. And in those days, you know, rock and rollers were rock and rollers. Right. and glamour wasn't necessarily the thing that they strived to have, but we did. So we kind of made our own niche within the rock and roll era.
And having an appreciation for fashion and quality
glamour,
tailoring, you already were going to take care of these garments regardless.
Yes, yes. Well, you know, but that came later. It came later that, you know, this collection got together because, first of all, Florence, Diane all left the group. I continued the group throughout the 70s, the 80s, and I just inherited them. On one of the Johnny Carson shows we did, Diana said, I think Johnny was asking us about our gowns. She said, well, there are so many hundreds of little old women who went blind beating our gowns. Well, those ladies didn't like what she said, but it was true. So that's one of the more exquisite gowns that we have. This particular one we wore for the farewell performance of Diane when she left the group. But it was also on the television show. Let's see which one I forgot. Oh yes, it was our the television special. It was GIT on Broadway with the Temptations. We were like one of the first rock and roll people to have a television special in those days. So that was a claim to fame for this dress, which was one of the questions you were asking. And as I said, it was a Bob Mackie design, which is quite elegant. The sleeves are very, very heavy. So we were all like saying, okay, stop! You know, it wasn't an easy stop, you know. The alarms might go off at this one. Here I go. Security! No.
It's me.
These we call butterfly, because as you can see, the design is this way, and they put all of the beading on the bodice of the dress to work with these designs. So I mean, you can tell how much work went into these gowns because of that. And when the arms are stretched wide like this, the entire cape is the width like this. And it's just absolutely beautiful. So when you have the three of us on stage doing that, it was like, oh my God, you know. And this was another television special. This gown was designed for the television special TCB, Taking Care of Business with the Temptations. This actually was the first television special, 1968, and that was a milestone, not only for TV, but for pop artists and for women and for black women, and, you know, the whole bit. So we were making so many firsts that we didn't even realize we were just, you know, everybody wearing all these glamorous gowns and things like that. So do you know anything about the Supremes or no, you don't? You know, stop.
We're just learning.
You know, stop in the name of love. Only the older people know. Yeah, so we are the girls that made those songs, and these are the dresses that we wore while we were singing that song. You need to go on YouTube and look up the Supremes. Okay?
Yeah.
Is that a deal? Go on YouTube, look up the Supremes. Okay. Get some history. Okay, here we go.
Learn the choreography.
This is the one I was telling you about. That it actually weighs 35 pounds. Each of the gowns.
Wow.
Weigh 35 pounds because unlike some of the others that we saw, which were all sequins, which are plastic, this particular gown is made with pearls, rhinestones, and I think there's some sequins. And so what makes it heavy are the rhinestones and the pearls. And it is definitely 35 pounds because we weigh this. It was one of the gowns that was designed by Michael Travis again. He showed us this design. He says, I have this most exquisite design, and I want you girls to have it. And we saw it, we're like, yes! Then when we put them on, we're like, whoa, these things are heavy. But we did wear them for the command performance in England for Queen Mother, Prince Charles, Princess Margaret, Princess Anne, and the whole royal family. And it was one of our earlier royal command performances, which was just, it was just for us, as you mentioned, one of the ladies mentioned, we were living in the projects, and to be doing command performances for the Queen and the Queen's family was just a phenomenal experience. And there are pictures of us meeting the royal family in these gowns, so they're quite famous. In the 70s, late 70s, maybe early 80s, we got into more sort of variety kind of things, and Jeffrey Holder, I don't know if you remember him, but he was a choreographer, and he designed this whole dream sequence for us. And so each of the girls, this is when Cindy Birdsong was in the group, she became Marilyn Monroe, so that was American Marilyn Monroe. Sherry Payne became Bessie Smith, and I was Josephine Baker. And we had this whole sort of dream sequence where we did their songs, and it was kind of nice. And Jeffrey Holder put that together for us. And this is a personal coat that I wore for PR mostly, and it's amazing because it's back in style now. You can see this, buy this one now, and wear it now. It's totally. I think you have something similar, don't you?
The double breasted.
Yes. So it's come back. It's come back in style now after all these years. But that was one that I wore personally. This as well is one of those sequin gowns that's completely beaded from, I should say, it's sequined from head to toe, not beaded. And it again was made on the fabric. It was designed, the beading was designed from the fabric. So they didn't create the design, it was already on the fabric and they just followed the design. But again, it weighs like, you can hold it in one hand. It was very lightweight, so we kind of liked this one. Originally it had long sleeves and we felt it was too hot, so we just wanted to drop that. And this is when mini skirts were in. And it's one of my private dresses that I wore for lots of the PR things we did in the 60s and 70s. So again, it was bought on Hollywood Boulevard. So Hollywood Boulevard had a lot of wonderful little shops and you could buy all kind of wonderful, exquisite things, and that was store bought. When we were growing up, we had beautiful role models. Like we just lost Lena Horne, who was like one of the most beautiful women in the world and very, very elegant. And I can say probably she was the one that kind of inspired us. But I think that we're giving the young people the wrong messages. Right now, the young children are being targeted for not just glamour, but for these type of vulgarity sort of ideas about what is good. I think you still can be a lady and be sexy and not show everything. Even though we showed a lot. But it wasn't like that much. I remember Barry Gordy used to tell me, Mary, cover up your boobs. That was my best, asset. And so you see most of the gowns are like we're up to our necks here. They're trying to preserve our sort of thing. So there you go. They were protecting us. And I think that's really necessary in some cases. Adults should say what should be and not. Because if you allow a child to just grow up on its own without any sort of supervision or direction, who knows where they'll go. So they do need a certain directorial sort of guidance from adults.